So this video is in a series of videos to help you get your finances in control and get you out of debt faster. So we've already walked through what are you actually spending, where are you actually spending, what are your wants, what are your needs, and then the budget that you'd like to have. In other words, where would you like to be spending your money? And now what we're going to do in the next step is we're going to break out all of your debts. This is important because in order to pay your debts faster, we need to understand each one so we can determine the optimal way to pay off the debts. So all I want you to do, and you'll see in the rest of this video how I put it in the spreadsheet, but I want you to gather all the information regarding everything that you're making payments on, all of your debts. For example, we're going to list out the debts, your mortgage. What was your mortgage taken out for? Let's say it was $400,000. Put down your payment. Here we've got $3,000. So we're putting down the amount of the debt when it started, and then what your monthly payment is. And then let's look at the interest rate. In this case, it was 8% for 30 years. And then let's ultimately put the end date. Here it's May of 52. Then let's list things like cars. I've got here just an example: car one, car two, credit card one, and credit card two. Car one, $18,340 a month, 5%. It's a 5-year loan. It'll be done in August of 25. You can see this from your statement. Car two, $7,135, 6%, 5-year. That's in September. Then we've got credit cards. Credit cards are interesting because unlike a home at 30 years or a car that says 5 years, these are fixed loans. They have a fixed term, 30 years or 5. They have a fixed payment, this amount. So you know if you make this payment every month, you will be done in that amount of time and on those dates. Credit cards are very different because a credit card does not give you a fixed payment. It usually will just show you a minimum payment. And that's where it can be dangerous. Credit card one, we've got $8,000. And I'm going to show you a calculator how to figure this out. It's showing us that you only need a $200 a month minimum payment. So we're going to write down what they tell you is the minimum payment. Let's say it's a 20% card. In this case, when you do the math, it's going to take a little over 5 years to pay off. And that's going to be in, let's just say it's March of 27. Some of these numbers are just made up, but I'll show you with the calculator how you can use your exact numbers. And then this other card's $4,000, $100 payment, 25% interest. That one's going to take 7 years. So we're going to look at and break out all of your debts. So watch the rest of this video. So at the very end, we'll have a good idea of where you owe and what you owe, and then we'll move on to the next video in the series to get you out of debt faster.
So welcome, here we are with the next video in the series. And if you're just now watching this video, you're going to want to go back because what you see here in the tabs, we have videos for each one of these tabs, which walks you through from gathering all of your expenses and putting them into an actuals sheet, and then looking what extra money you may have after you split out your wants and your needs, and then what you might want as your potential budget. And here we are, video 4 and video 5 are going to be on this same spreadsheet. And for this video right now, we're just going to complete one thing, which we just showed on the whiteboard. But right here, as you see, first let me show you that this information here, these two columns, do not change, populated from the previous video sheet. This is where we went through our needs and our budget. The needs were everything, as we scroll down here, $42.88, where we believe we have to pay those things for the time being, whether it's rent and a credit card payment, a car payment, etc. Again, once we finish this, I should say, you can go back and decide to sell a car, get some more extra money. You may want to do those sort of things once you see how much you can save and how much faster you can get rid of debt. And then we did a budget. And the reason we did that was so that you can see that if you're going to spend more money during this process of eliminating debt, that it's going to affect how quickly you do or don't get out of debt. So you may end up realizing that you want to drop back to your needs and try to obtain as much more money every month by not spending as much. That's the easiest thing to do, right? The easiest thing to do is to take the amount of money you spend and lower it. That means you've got more available for debt. The more difficult thing to do is go get a second job or whatever it may be to obtain additional income. All right, so we scroll down. This information here is already filled out, the needs and the budget, and it's showing you the balance of $712, meaning you have an extra $700 to put towards your debt if you just pay your needs. If you're going to spend extra money because you want certain things, extra things, well, you're going to have less to put towards debt. Just wanted to show that to reiterate the amount you can apply. Now, for this video, I just want you to do one thing. Just like I showed on the whiteboard, you're gathering all of your statements. If you have cars, you're going to put them here, and you can, of course, add a row if you like. I've got here, you might have one car, two car, three cars, home, personal loans if you've got them, student loans if you've got them, and credit cards. So you're going to, and you can change these fields, and you can actually put here, you could put Honda Accord, Toyota Camry. Down here, it could be Fidelity credit card, whatever it is. And then you're going to fill out this information as best you can. Some things you'll have, some things you won't. But generally speaking, you should have the original amount that you borrowed. For example, here you might have $10,000 balance on your credit card. You probably won't know the amount of time to pay it off. We're going to have that populated from a calculator. But you should be able to find your percent on your statement of what they're charging you, your annual percentage rate. And then the payment here is the payments that you're currently making. It'll probably give you a minimum payment. So put that in here. So you'll have your balance, your percent that you're paying APR, and then your payment that you're making every month. First thing, just fill that in. Then let's say you've got a personal loan here. We're giving an example. I'm showing you these four particular things because everything else you'll be able to use the same calculators. So example, personal loans and student loans, you'll be using the same calculator here. Home loan, different calculator. Car loan, different calculator. But you put in your personal loan, let's say you got one to consolidate debt a while ago, 36 months. Now, this is your original term. So if you've already made 6 months of payments, for now, you're going to put in the actual amount. You got a 3-year loan, that's 36 months. You're paying 12% interest. The payment that they have is $332.14. And then here's the payoff date that it's currently showing. So if you continue to make this payment, you'll have it paid it off at this time. All right, next we've got a home loan. Just as an example, you put in the amount here that you borrowed, the original amount. Your term, months or years. So I have 30 here because that represents 30 years. 6%. Here's the payment that you have to make, and here's when it'll be paid off. So you're just filling this out. If you happen to know these two columns, which are remaining balance or months or years left, that's great. Fill them in. So for example, I've been able to put here, the last statement, it shows $384,000 due and 27 years left. So you've been paying for 3 years as an example, and it went down from 400 to 384. And then here, put your car loans. This one's $20,000, 60 months, 7%. Here's the current payment. Keep making the payment and you pay it off. I happen to know the remaining balance. I put it there. And the amount of months left is 48. So right now, just fill this out as best you can. So you've got all of your loans. Because first we went through your actual spending, and then we went through your needs and your wants. We put together a budget. Now this is what matters. These are the two videos that you're going to see how much faster you can get out of debt. What do we have to play with? We have $712 additional every month if we just go with our needs. If we spend a little more, we've got a little less. And so here, fill all that out. And once you've filled out the information for your cars, your home, your loans, your credit cards, then watch the next video. And that's where we're going to show you how much faster you can get out, exponentially faster, by applying more money and increasing your payments on these debts, your principal payments. Thanks for watching. Please move on to the next video in the series.